off a daily fantasy. His number too high, then I'm probably fading him. He been on the road, he gon' eat up my salary. I hit a buy, he gon' lie before lock. Play back to back, then I probably won't pick on the DFS bachelor, good as it gets. Bit a few liners and hit me a leg. He had a good game, but it might be a trick. Log in the Slack so I know who to pick. Sharing our liners, we all gon' get rich. New to this game, you should come to the pad. You might want some cash and get a good laugh. DFS sports, we gon' run up a bag. He heard every game and it's making me mad. You buying your lineups, I think you a cheater. DFS bachelor, he the new leader. Yeah.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Bachelor Pad. I, of course, am your host of DFS Bachelor, and we're going to go over our Fanduel and Draftkings NBA playoff slate for Wednesday, August 26th. Speaking of that date, a happy early 30th birthday to my baby brother. Not to reveal my age too much, but a happy 30th birthday to my baby brother. Turns 30 tomorrow. So it's a 3-game slate, none of this 2-game slate bullshit, that we had today. I just played one lineup. Got beat because Paul Millsap sucks. Not that big of a deal. Hope some of you listened about Michael Porter, Montrezl Harrell, some of that different stuff. Maybe it was a good night for you all. First things first, thank you. A big cheers, seriously, to you all. I appreciate all the support, the kind words. I mean, I know there wasn't much of a reason to watch for even a 2-game slate, and you guys watched the show in droves. Thanks for liking the video. That helps the show more than you know, so I appreciate that very, very much. All the comments, the kind comments, etc. Truly, it really is appreciated, I should say. If you are new to the channel, welcome to the team. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Get access to all of our content. On occasion, we'll still have WNBA content when the prices are up on time. Right now, they're just bringing the prices up too late. And quite frankly, I'm so pissed at some of the WNBA players today. That league is that league. I don't know. I'm about as mad. I didn't have much stake in tonight. I was just annoyed watching the way the NBA officiated their games, and I was annoyed watching the way the WNBA players played the game. That's basically what annoyed me tonight in the sports world, but I'm really enjoying watching these playoffs. If it wasn't for the officials being so god-awful. But anyways, I digress. Hit subscribe. I really appreciate that. Be sure to check us out over at sportsbookreview.com. If you're looking to... If you're betting anything and you're looking for a sportsbook to play, you go to sportsbookreview.com. They break down all of the odds at every site. They really help you shop the board. Plus, we've got experts all over there. We're going to be doing a $50,000 giveaway this year, a 50,000 Pick 6 giveaway over at sbr.com/pick6. I'll be doing some promotional stuff for that. I'll be covering the NFL, handicapping the NFL every year. I'll be live tomorrow, 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. I'll be live breaking down the NFC West with my boy Donnie Seymour over there at Sportsbook Review. So come over there and check us out. If you support me and support the show, I would really appreciate the love over there. Also, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment in the comment section. You qualify for our weekly $25 PayPal giveaway. I'll announce that winner on Monday. Also, don't forget, if you want my player pool projections, hit percentages, tells you percentage of the time players hit value at their price tag. Lineup optimizer, mass lineup generator, research tools, cheat sheets, etc. for every sport, NFL, NBA, NHL, and MLB. You can click the link in the video description below, and you can try Draft Dashboard for 30 days for $1. Also, don't forget to check out Overlay DFS. Ooh, I came close in Overlay. Stupid. Royce O'Neal went off today, and I talked about how he sometimes does. I picked against him on Overlay, and that cost me $500 today, and that hurts. That hurts. Fuck you, Royce O'Neal, and fuck you, Jeremy Grant, and fuck you, Paul Millsap. Window lickers of the night. There you go. The real window licker of the night, if you played WNBA, was announced starter Astu Indoor. A -1. A starter with -1. I mean, you've got to be pretty fucking useless on the court to do that. But that's the Dallas Wings in the WNBA. They're pretty much all useless besides Arika and maybe Satel Sabali. So anyways, I digress. Let's jump into point guards. It's a 3-game slate. And again, some of that stuff holds true with where you want to be a little bit different. There's still going to be a lot of similar lineups. There are some injuries tomorrow. Damian Lillard has been ruled out of that Laker game. We know Anthony Davis left early with the back spasms. That's really just because they're beating the brakes off of Portland. But it does open up some value and create some more unique scenarios. But you still want to leave salary on the table. You still, you want to take a chance on some lower owned guns. Michael Porter Jr. was solid today. It was low owned. Montrezl Harrell, we talked about it. It's going to happen. Well, it did tonight. There you go. So There's also other things we talked about would happen that didn't happen. Like, I liked Paul Millsap. I think half the field liked fucking Paul Millsap. I should have known better to put him in my one and only lineup. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Anyways, I digress. So let's start at point guard. You got Chris Paul, 7-9 on Fanduel, 8-1 on DraftKings. Look, all it took was a halftime bash from me on Twitter. and look, all of a sudden, there he is. He's got a 43 and a 44 the last two games. The series is tied at 2. We know the ball is going to be in his hands a ton. The usage rate's going to be there. You just wonder if he can perform in a big game. Look, this man's never been to a conference final, never been to a finals. He's had a tendency of coming up small. No, they talked about that in the last broadcast of the game. He has the most clutch points in the league this year. So that's interesting, and you like that near the end of games. Of course he's in play. Eric Bledsoe. Mike Budenholzer insists on playing 4,750 guards. If you look back there, you might see Patrick Mahomes' girlfriend playing point guard sometimes. It's absolutely ridiculous, his rotation. It doesn't really matter. I think it'll hurt him against a better team like Miami. Miami is a three-point shooting team that's going to give Milwaukee problems in the next round. I promise you that. Milwaukee gives up the most threes in the league. 6'4" and 5'8". He's just not playing enough minutes. He's played 25, 25, and 23 minutes the last 3 games. So he had one game in the 30s. So it's a tournament play only for me. Don't have a lot of faith in it. And it's really just because of the shitty rotations of that fucking coach. Markelle Fultz. Speaking of which, I put this out on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at DFS Bachelor. News, updates, info, etc. Whatever's important for the slate, I'll have up there. But I was really rooting for this tonight, especially when Luka was yelling at the ref. I was like, why doesn't Rick Carlisle just put in bring in whatever backup guard isn't going to play. Bring in JJ Barea and just tell him to throw the basketball at the ref. I would love to see one of those refs with these ridiculous technical fouls and just awful overall officiating without fans. Like how I could never imagine they would get so bad. They're the worst part about watching an NBA game. And I had no rooting interest in tonight's games. None. This is not a homer take. It's just, you're watching the game, you're like, oh, dear Lord, you guys can't even get that right? Fuck off. I wish JJ Barea or DeLon Wright or, Rodney Magruder, just Doc Rivers sent him and just get in there and just chuck it at their face, hit him right in the fucking face, man. That's what I want to see. It's not going to hurt him or, might give him a little bump, so I'm not calling for drastic violence. I would just love to see an NBA player throw the ball at an NBA ref's face. I can't stand him. And how is Scott Foster still officiating games, by the way, on a side note? How many times has this dude been implicated on Tim Donaghy basically made him the co-star of his book talking about how he helped him shave points and bet on games. Oh, Scott Foster, it's fine. No. Fuck off. Anyways, I digress. Markelle Fultz. Look, a wide range of outcomes. We've seen him play very, very well, and then we've seen him play poorly, so his ownership went down, then he played well again, so now his ownership's going to be back up. Of course he's in play. If you're stacking up Milwaukee Bucks, if you're playing Milwaukee guys, Giannis, etc., you're going to want to load up on Orlando because you're going to want this to be close, and scenario, it'll be high scoring. That means Orlando's hitting their threes. That means guys like Fultz and Gary Clark and Fournier, Vucevic, etc., Terrence Ross are playing well. So, you got to have some game theory in here. DJ Augustine, another guy who's had big games in this series, a 32, an 18, a 34, and then a 12. So he's going off and on. So if you want to follow that trend, he should have a 30-point game again. Again, it's real iffy. There's nothing real safe about it. There's not a lot of great players at point guard tomorrow. Some value guys, George Hill will see his regular minutes. Alex Caruso, the same thing. Austin Rivers, baby boy Rivers. I took a lot of shit because he went out and had his career game after I told you how much he sucked and Doc Rivers would play him 40 minutes. Well, he's got 9 total fantasy points the last 2 games and 2 losses. Fuck you, Austin Rivers. But with Damian Lillard's injury, Anthony Simons should see. I believe he'll start. Now Terry Stotts may do something weird and do the Whiteside, Nurkic, Carmelo, and then go McCollum and Gary Trent. That's one way they could go, or Mario Hezonja. We've seen that bullshit before. But they're going to need the ball handling Anthony Simons. He's played 24, 13, and 15 minutes the last 3 games. He's got some upside. We saw this during the year. DraftKings, of course, can't just let us have a little. The pricing on DraftKings is absolutely absurd tomorrow, so far that I've looked through. I like that George Hill's a little cheaper, and I guess Alex Caruso, but Anthony Simons is all the way up at $4K, and he's done absolutely nothing to justify that price. That's a fucking bullshit price by DraftKings. minimum salary on FanDuel. But in the same token, it's also smart because they're assuming he's probably going to start. So it's kind of a sharp play. But it's kind of an FU to the players trying to look for a little, value there. Maybe it'll lower his ownership. So maybe it's okay. You can go both ways, I suppose. James Harden, 11-6 on FanDuel, 11-8 on DraftKings, of course. Russell Westbrook is still out. It looks like Westbrook's getting closer and closer to playing. This series is tied 2-2. This is a huge Game 5. This is going to be a very fun game to watch. It's the best game for tomorrow, in terms of what's at stake and all the players in play. So if you anticipate this being a competitive game, you prefer him over the other super high price players in LeBron and AD. Because if you look at it on paper, it looks like Portland's going to without Damian Lillard, it's going to be real hard for Portland to compete. So we could have another repeat of the other day where, LeBron didn't even have to play in the third quarter. AD didn't play past the second quarter with the back spasms. The typical AD headed to the locker room, won't return bullshit that Anthony Davis pulls. It's just what he does. And I'm a Laker fan. I love the Lakers. I love AD, but he's kind of a little soft bitch sometimes. And it's frustrating. James Harden's the route to go, in my opinion. SGA, absolutely. Now, it's a little frustrating. He plays a ton of minutes, and he has all this potential, and he's played very well the last 3 games, 43, 54, and 40. It's because he's getting a lot of rebounds and peripherals. You'll see him a lot of times on offense, like Chris Paul and Dennis fucking Schroeder just won't pass the ball. So they're kind of an ISO-type team. They don't have very good ball movement. That kind of affects Danilo Gallinari as well. But I do like SGA, of course. I like his price tag at 7.3, 7.4. Just know there's some risk. If he's not getting those peripherals, he could, get one of those 18, 17s that he had in game 1. CJ McCollum's going to be very, very popular, and for good reason. When Damian Lillard's out, he's got 60-point upside. He's 7.2 and 8.1. Chris Middleton, last 2 games, come back to being Chris Middleton. Again, you're not going to see more than those 32 minutes. Now, if for some reason Orlando makes this close, maybe he will. But Mike Budenholzer, they could be down 6 with 5 minutes to go, and he's like, oh, let's play fucking Pat Connaughton and George Hill and Robin Lopez. It's like, God, just put your good players in. You hear Jeff Van Gundy talk about it. The good coaches keep their players in so they can get into a rhythm. How do the players for Milwaukee ever get into a rhythm when they're subbing a player out every 45 seconds? I don't understand it. The 7-8 on DraftKings is a big hard no title of your sex tape. There's no way I'm paying 7.8 for Chris Middleton, but I'll consider the 6.6. You can see at his price on FanDuel. You can find that here on Draft Dashboard. The percentage of the times they would get to 5 times value, he would have done it 61% of that time at his price on FanDuel. And right under that, since I'm on the FanDuel side right here, you can flip to either side. He would only hit the value 52% of the time, which is higher than I would have thought it was at 7.8, to be completely honest. Schroeder, yep, he's a tournament play. Again, another bench guy. If his shot's not falling, if it's not there, it's going to be a long day. 6K and 6.4, so his price is going up, but he's been really good the last 2 games, 80 combined fantasy points. Terrence Ross, guys like him who are going to have to play well. He and Evan Fournier are going to have to. I don't know what the hell happened to Evan Fournier. He was. He's gonna be at small forward. My apologies. But he's 5K on both sides, and again, Milwaukee gives up a ton of threes. They're going to pack the paint, give up the perimeter. That's kind of one of the reasons they struggle with Vucevic, because he's not your typical dominant center. He plays from the perimeter, gives them a little bit of trouble. But I do like Terrence Ross in tournaments. Danny Green, if he's making his threes and gets a couple steals, fine. I don't like him over 4K. I'll have some sprinkles since it's a 3-game slate. Then guys who are going to play big minutes, like Gary Trent shown some upside. Lugens Dort has not. That one game of 27, I guess you'll take it 4K and 4.2. Gary Trent's 4.8 on DraftKings, smoking crack. But again, you could see him start. He's going to play a bunch of minutes, and if he's making his shot, they need somebody tomorrow. Besides McCollum and Nurk, and Carmelo's going to do his best, but I think life's going to be hard for Carmelo tomorrow. Wesley Matthews, never. KCP, we'll see the minutes. Rondo's still not back yet. And that's it. That's it there at shooting guard. Let's move to small forward. Over here at small forward. Damn allergy season, man. Giannis, of course. And even Giannis, look, back-to-back 60-point games, 30 and 33 minutes. That's it. Like LeBron almost played as many minutes as Giannis, and he didn't even play in the fourth quarter. He barely had to play in the third quarter. And that might be what happens again. So the other night I was on Giannis more than LeBron. I think the value was about more accurate. I'm worried if Portland can keep this close at all. Now, you do worry that the Lakers don't take them seriously without Damian Lillard and have to play an extra game. That's certainly within the realm of possibility. And you're going to have an inspired Portland team. They did not work this hard to get to the postseason and be one of the better 8 seeds we had seen on paper, and the way they were playing. Then they came out game 1 to fall apart like this. They're going to play hard for Terry Stotts. He's an excellent coach. And Damian Lillard's a great leader, whether he's on the court or not. But I think Giannis is the safer play. I prefer James Harden of the 3 10,000 plus players. I prefer James Harden. I think everyone will. So the contrarian type play is going to be LeBron and Giannis. And it's most likely Giannis, because when the casual fan plays, they're playing LeBron. You know, the casual fan may not even know much about Giannis, but they're going to play LeBron. Gallinari. It was an off game the last game, but really it was such a guard-heavy game. Schroeder, Chris Paul, and SGA really kind of took over the game. The upside's there for Gallinari, 6K and 6.3. I don't love the pricing, but I could go there. Eric Gordon, again, 3-point reliant, but the minutes and the shot attempts are there. 4 straight games of 29 or more, 3 straight of 30 or more. I don't mind Eric Gordon. Carmelo, look, he's going to have more shots and more usage because Damian Lillard's not there. Now, on the other hand, he's also going to be the focal point of that defense. And the Lakers are proven. The Lakers are the best defensive team in this playoff. They're better than Milwaukee. They're better than the Clippers defensively. That is an excellent defensive team. Now, of those 3 teams, they're probably the worst shooting team of those 3 teams. So that's the downfall there. But their defense, when they're ratcheted up, that is a fantastic defense. McGee and Howard at the center position. Their only bad defender on that team is Kyle Kuzma. Is one of the worst defenders ever, really. But so Carmelo's a tournament play. Again, I like the price on Fanduel, better on Draftkings. Draftkings has really stiff pricing tomorrow. That's just how it is. So I think that's okay. I mean, it makes it frustrating doing lineup construction. You got to play some real fucking garbage in your lineup if you're trying to pay up for players. But, it does make it interesting. But it also gives the opportunity for some trash lineup with some garbage players that no one with a brain would play. And, they're sprinkled into one of those 150 optimizer things, and it flashes, and there you go. Evan Fournier, 5'3", 5'4". Yep, tournament play. Finally had a good game the last game. They need more of that from him. Daniel House. I like that 4.8 price tag on FanDuel. Do not love that 5.5 price tag on DraftKings. James Ennis was still a bit of a letdown. Still came back. He only played 22 minutes. The game started to get out of hand, and etc. He's 4-4 on both sides. Put him up in 19 and 22 minutes. He's going to start. You want him to get around that 30-minute mark. He can really crush value. And then it's nothing else. If for some reason AD is a little bit limited, they'll see some more Markieff Morris. So I guess I don't hate that. Mario Hezonja will probably play a few more minutes. Now, we got that 19 minutes of last game because they were getting beat by 7,000 points going into the fourth quarter. Let's go to power forward. Anthony Davis, I'm staying away from him tomorrow, to be completely honest. His price went up. I don't like the back spasm thing. Now, you could see Anthony Davis could put up 100 fantasy points on any given night. He put up 41 in only 17 minutes. But I don't trust Anthony Davis, especially if this game's a blowout. They will rest Anthony Davis before they rest LeBron James. That's a fact. So that's something to keep an eye on. Robert Covington, 5'7". We're keeping an eye still on Aaron Gordon. I don't think he's going to play tomorrow for Orlando. He would be somewhere in the slot. There you go, title of your sex tape. Cheers to you all. I know I'm rambling on about some other stuff a little bit, but you got to keep yourself entertained when you're talking about the same 3 and 4 game slates, the same matchups over and over and over again. So cheers. Robert Covington, yeah, he kind of, got back on the court. You got concerned a little bit that they were just going to give all those minutes to Jeff Green, but he hit his 3-point shot, and he's a vital part of that team for them to succeed. 5'7", price went down on both sides. I like Robert Covington quite a bit. Kyle Kuzma just doesn't get enough minutes for me to justify that price. Jeff Green does, so I could go to Jeff Green at 5'5" and 5'6". No thanks on Nerlens Noel. I like Gary Clark at 4'4" and 4'2", especially if Aaron Gordon's out. He continues to start. He plays good defense. He gets you a steal or two. He's hitting his 3-point shots, can get some rebounds, especially when Vooch is playing out on the perimeter with Brook Lopez. I don't mind Gary Clark at all. And then everything else is a pass. Let's move on to centers. Vooch, absolutely. Been relatively low owned throughout the series. He's had some big games. He had a 56, a 47, a 60. Also had a 32. So you see it's a decent floor. It's not like a crippling floor. 9-2 on DraftKings. I think he's going to be low owned. I like the upside. I like Vooch. Nurkic, I think, will be pretty popular tomorrow. Everyone will assume, hey, with Damian Lillard out, he'll move up to the number 2 slot, filling in for, CJ McCollum will be the number 1 guy, and Nurkic is going to have to, he and Carmelo Anthony are going to have to really step up. I would agree. We'll see if they're able to do that. He hasn't had any of those massive games that he was having during the play-in stuff. And that's because the Lakers are a good defense. So it's not going to be as easy for Nurkic against this team. Now when you're up against Howard and McGee and Anthony Davis, even Markieff Morris, even though he's smaller, is a tough, gritty defender. So life is tough on Nurkic. I don't like that 8-6 price tag on DraftKings. I could take a shot at 7-5 on Fanduel. Steven Adams, it's like, who do you like more, Adams or Brook Lopez? I think, even though Lopez really screwed me in game 1, I think I like the shot blocking upside of Lopez more. Just because guys like Fultz at center will drive into the paint. Lopez is a little bit better of a shot blocker, and he can shoot the 3. He's a little bit cheaper. So they're both tournament sprinkles. I think I prefer Lopez. Hassan Whiteside's been starting again, still not playing a ton of minutes. But he does have upside if he gets rolling at 4-9. It's a tournament only. And then like for me, the safest one down here, of course, is PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker in a competitive game, he's played 43 and 37 minutes over the last 2 games, 30 minutes the game before that. Now, has he scored in the 40s? No. Has he scored at 29 like JaVale McGee just did? No. But a lot of that JaVale McGee was just swatting shots back, just bap, bap, bap. If he's not doing that, you're getting a 12 because he's not playing more than 15 minutes. He's going to start, but you need him to go out there and block a bunch of shots. PJ Tucker will be out on the court, can get steals, make threes. Like PJ Tucker, I even think Dwight Howard's a safer play than JaVale McGee. So that's our look at the 3-game slate tomorrow. Again, you can get access to my entire player pool as it will update throughout the day tomorrow as news comes out, etc. Not just for NBA, but I'll have that set for hockey tomorrow, for baseball tomorrow. Have a preliminary player pool set for the NFL and some players picked out on the cheat sheet. I'm still working on my season-long fantasy football draft kit. That will be up here on Draft Dashboard as well. You can get access to all that stuff, cheat sheets for MMA, all that stuff. Click the link in the video description below. You can try it for 30 days for $1. And when you do, how you find that player pool, you'll simply click on your watched players. It'll be over on the left-hand side of the screen. If your screen is more zoomed in, and you don't see this menu, you'll see 3 bars at the top left-hand corner. You click that. Sub-menu, bam, you click on Watch Players. You'll see a blue box that says Watch DFS Bachelor's Picks, as well as a timestamp in Eastern Time when I last updated it. Remember, you can switch to Fanduel and DraftKings here in the top right-hand corner. Then you can take it to the Lineup Optimizer, the Mass Lineup Generator, the Late Swap Optimizer. Somebody kept asking me over and over again, do they let you upload your lineups into DraftKings? Yes, of course they do. I just fucking said it like 80 times. Yes, they do. Late Swap Optimizer, so if you have a late scratch, you can upload the lineups from FanDuel DraftKings, re-optimize, then re-upload them back in. Again, click the link, try it for 30 days for $1. Don't forget to check out Overlay DFS. Don't forget to watch me over at sportsbookreview.com. We break down the NFC West tomorrow. We've already done the NFC South, the NFC North, and the NFC East. Starting Friday through the end of next week, we'll be breaking down the AFC. And then, boom, man, we're right in getting into week 1. We'll be handicapping all the games over at sportsbookreview.com, sbr.com/NFL Pick 6. That's going to be the contest, or /Pick 6. I'll have a link for that when we get closer to it. I'll be pushing all of that, $50,000 in prizes, including a $50,000 cash prize, just all sorts of amazing stuff over there. So check all that out. Like, comment, subscribe, be part of our giveaway. A big cheers to you all. Thank you all so much for watching. May the fantasy gods be with you all tomorrow. Good luck. Goodbye, folks.